Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If that's something you like to listen to, then definitely hit that subscribe button to get the latest videos. We post a variety of different credit and financial related videos. So if that's something you like to listen to, just hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, you could like, share, or comment right down below. So for today's video, I have another special credit union review. But before I get into that, I just wanted to thank all of the subscribers, both the subscribers who've been following us from the beginning, as well as a lot of the subscribers who recently just joined the channel. I just wanted to thank you all. We recently just hit that 3,000 subscriber milestone, and I've been putting in a lot of work to get some of these videos out to you guys, so I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. So with that being said, I'm gonna get into this review. So the financial institution that we're reviewing today is Langley Federal Credit Union. Now, this is another great credit union for you guys to consider. So Langley's origins, I guess, began more in like the Virginia area, mostly like Southern Virginia, but they do have branches throughout the state, as well as I believe they might have one or two in addition in like the DC area, Maryland. They're also part of a cooperative where you could access your accounts from other, credit unions. So even if it's not in your particular state, you could just figure out which co-op that they're a part of and access your accounts to that particular branch. One of the advantages of Langley Federal is that their membership is wide open. So there's no restrictions, no geographical sort of restrictions. Anyone is eligible to join. All you have to do is open up a savings account with a minimum of $5, and that's it. The application process is pretty straightforward. So they're going to, obviously pull your check systems. And another thing too, if you have any third-party data vendors frozen, whether that's LexisNexis, SageStream, ARS, make sure that those are unfrozen before you try to apply for membership to different credit unions, because what will happen, and this is something I've seen a lot lately, is that you'll get an alert on your check systems that one of your third party reports is frozen. So check systems will get that alert, and that can prevent you or delay you from developing a relationship with different credit unions. So that's just one thing I wanted to throw out there. Anyways, so Langley Federal, for credit applications, they're going to pull your Equifax credit report, and specifically they're going to be pulling that FICO 5. And if for those of you who've been following the videos, I've covered a ton of credit unions recently that utilize the Equifax FICO 5, and it seems like the smaller credit unions utilize Equifax a lot more. So I've covered like DCU, AOD FCU, SkyPoint, NIH FCU, Signal Financial. There's a ton that seem to use Equifax FICO 5. So if you're thinking about building relationships with smaller to mid-sized credit unions, just make sure your Equifax credit report is on point, because there's definitely a lot of upside if it is. But I just want to get into some of their personal credit products. So they have 3 credit cards. They have their Visa Signature with rates as low as 11%. They do have a $50 introductory bonus when you spend $1,000 within the first 90 days. Then they also, for the month of May, they have 5% cash back on groceries and wholesale clubs. And all the other months, it's only 2% cash back. They also give you 3% cash back on gas and 1% cash back on all other purchases. Then they have a Visa Platinum card, which gives you 0% APR for 12 months on purchases and balance transfers. The balance transfers have to be within the first 60 days of opening the account. And oh yeah, one thing about the Visa Signature, they have trip cancellation insurance, and that's very important. I can relate to this because back in March, I had booked some travel through the airlines, and Of course, I didn't want to pay the extra to get the trip cancellation service because it was, I don't know, maybe like $25 an extra per ticket. So, I didn't want to pay the extra $50, so I didn't get it. Lo and behold, the coronavirus pandemic hit, and I wound up having to cancel the trip that I had planned. The thing that kind of, was unfortunate was, I couldn't get my money back because I didn't get the cancellation insurance through the airlines. And what they basically do, instead of giving you your money back, they basically kind of just give you, airline credit where you can rebook a flight up to the value of the ticket that you had bought before. But that has to be used before the end of the year, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna even be able to utilize that. So to me, that was close to about $800 down the drain that I'm probably not going to see any value from. So the fact that their Visa Signature has trip cancellation service or trip cancellation insurance up to $2,000 is a very valuable perk to have. So just keep that in mind. I know a lot of times some of these other little benefits of the credit card we kind of gloss over and look more into like the intro offers or like the cash back or something like that. But trip cancellation is definitely a consideration. So I learned my lesson on that. Anyways, the Platinum Visa from Langley Federal, as I was saying, 0% for 12 months, balances and purchases. And then they also have the $50 introductory once you spend $1,000 within the first 90 days. And their other benefit, they have the auto rental collision damage waiver, which for those of you who have ever rented cars, usually you're going to have to get that additional insurance when you rent the car out, and it does cost a little bit more. So if you already have this benefit on the Visa Platinum credit card, then you don't need to actually get that if you do rent out cars. So that's definitely an advantage because it will save you some money. So just these little other additional card benefits are really important. And then lastly, they have a Platinum Essential Visa, which is basically the same exact card as the Visa Platinum, except it's geared more towards people who are rebuilding or new to credit. And it's going to, again, give you the 0% APR for 12 months. It's going to give you the $50 intro bonus after you spend $1,000. You could get do the balance transfers within the first 60 days. So that's actually a pretty good beginner card. So if you have like a low credit score or you have some derogatories or something like that, you might be able to get this the Platinum Essential Visa from Langley Federal. So those are basically their credit cards. Now, they do have some other great credit building products that I want to talk about. So one is going to be their credit builder, and two is going to be their shared secured loan. Now, I know a lot of the videos that I've done, I've focused primarily on just the revolving credit, but it's very, very important for you to also establish accounts that are installment accounts as well. And to be honest with you, installment accounts are going to maybe hold a little bit more weight, and I'm going to explain exactly why. So the difference between revolving installment, installment accounts are going to be, fixed monthly payments. So like car loans, term loans, mortgages, there's, a fixed payment every month. Whereas revolving, your payment can vary depending on, what you're spending, etc. And so the difference with that, with installment accounts, exactly what your payment is, right? So if someone's looking at your credit report and they see an installment account, they know how much you were paying each month over a specified length of time. Whereas a revolving account, they don't know what you were spending, within the billing cycle. So, for example, you could spend, let's say you spend $5,000 today, and then you pay that off next week, and then your statement cut is the next week, and so your balance is reporting zero, right? The credit bureaus, when they're, or with any financial institution, when they're looking at your credit report and they're viewing that information, they only see the balance that's reported on your statement. So they don't know if, you could spend $10,000 and pay it off. They don't know that. So it's a little bit different in terms of, how the information is being reported, right? There is a high balance. I went over that in the video, or the webinar, rather. And, the high balance can kind of, in a sense, let, through your credit data, let institutions know what's the highest balance that you've ever, charged on that particular account. But if you're paying it off in full, all they're going to see is that zero balance. So it's important to also have installment loans, because in my opinion, that's going to be a much more, that's going to give much more detail in terms of like how much you are actually paying over the entire course of that account. Whereas revolving, they're not going to know unless it's actually being reported on your statement. So anyways, I just wanted to get that point out there. But they do have two installment type of accounts. So one is the credit builder. The credit builder, basically how that works is the bank will set aside some money, they'll put it into an account, and they'll lock that account, and then they'll issue you they'll issue you the loan. So the loan will report. So let's say it's $1,000, right? So that loan will report. You would basically make monthly payments. So if the loan is for a year, $1,000 for a year, for example, you'd pay whatever, $85 a month. And then at the end of the loan, once you made your final payment, you've paid it off completely, then what will happen is they'll unfreeze that savings account, and then that $1,000 or whatever the amount is, that's yours. So that's essentially how that works. On the other hand, a shared secured loan is different. In a shared secured loan, you're going to put up your own money, so you can dictate like how much that's going to be, and then they lock the account. So you would put the money in the account, they would lock the account, and then issue you a loan in that amount, and then you just make monthly payments on that loan until it's repaid. So they essentially accomplish the same exact thing, except a credit builder, you're not putting up money up front. A shared secured loan, you're using your own money. They're both installment accounts, and they basically accomplish the same thing. So if you're someone who, you intentionally want to sort of build credit using your own money, then a shared secured account is going to be a better option if you have the money to put up. But if you don't have the money to put up, then the credit builder option might be the better option, because you're not putting up anything initially. So those are two great options that you can consider. Aside from that, Langley Federal does have a personal line of credit with rates as low as 7.25%, as well as term loans up to 96 months, which is that's like 8 years, with interest rates as low as 9%. They also have commercial loans, commercial real estate loans, business lines of credit. They have a business credit card as well, as well as business loans. So they have a ton of great products for you to consider. Again, membership is wide open. And another thing too, one great aspect, you can double dip off the same credit inquiry. I always, as a rule of thumb, once you apply for your initial credit account, let's say you get approved, just lock your credit report right after that, and then apply, because sometimes in odd situations they might hard pull you again. But I do have data points that suggest that Langley Federal is in the same boat as some of these other credit unions, where your hard inquiry is good for 30 days or 60 days or whatever the case may be. But just to be on the safe side, if you're looking to double dip or triple dip on credit applications, just lock your credit report after the initial hard inquiry, so you can rule out that if the case may be that they, for whatever strange reason, hard pull you again. Again, they pull Equifax for approvals, and the membership is wide open to anyone. So I definitely encourage you guys to check them out. If there's anyone who has any experience with Langley Federal Credit Union, definitely let us know in the comment section right down below. And that's all I wanted to share for this video. Until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.